Why, hello there. I'm terrified. Would you like to see why I'm terrified? Let me show you why I'm terrified. All right, let's start. Let's start with what we'll be doing today, which is that. This is a new soldering station that I got. My old one, because I don't use it much, is really more for touch and go automotive massive wire kind of repairs. I needed something a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more finessed, a little bit more subtle about its application of heat. So I got this guy, and it was like 50 bucks, 40, 50 bucks. Worth it, as far as I'm concerned. I think it takes the same tips as a Weller. Now, here's the thing. I need to start straight off. I am ultra freaking beginner when it comes to soldering pretty much anything. I had to do a bunch of soldering for my big computer build. I had to do a bunch of soldering for that tool that we looked at before, which is up there. There you go, right there. But this is a whole new ball game, and it's because the wires are freaking tiny. So I wanted to make sure I was set up to do a good job on this. Also, one day I may be trying to build a lightsaber, so having a decent soldering station is a good investment. I don't know how people feel politically about things, but I do prefer to buy American products because it helps us, helps neighbors, helps community, whatever you want to say. Unfortunately, I actually couldn't find anything that was what I needed as a soldering station where it actually benefited people who work in America. Think what you will of me, but that's just my view on things. I live here, and I like it when people who also live here succeed. So that is the station we will be using. It's pretty good. I already started it up, just make sure everything was okay. Nothing blew up. That's good. I'm trying to make it so you don't kill my patient here. I'll show you also. This is all the stuff potentially I may need to use. So we're not gonna need these. We've got more than enough distance on these wires, but I do want to practice. That's going to be the first part of the This first part of the stream is me practicing. So I'm going to use those. I got a little tip tinner. So there's a couple ways you can do it. This seems to work really well with me for tinning the tip of the soldering iron. You basically want to make sure it's a weird metallurgic dance that goes on here between solder, soldering iron, and all that kind of shit. So this prepares the tip of your soldering iron to do its magic. I also have some flux here. It's water soluble. I've got oh hi sunburnt. By the way, this is soldering, so this is 100% about batteries. As a matter of fact, there is a battery in here, which will hopefully I'll be able to get you to see shortly. But there is a battery in there, and I forgot to take it out. I think that'll be all right. So this is technically up your alley. I've got this big honkin' glorious solder. God, I can't think and stream and talk at the same time. It does have lead in it, and lead, even though everyone's terrified of lead does phenomenal stuff when it comes to soldering. It just makes everything smooth. It makes everything flow right. We have this. I also have some much smaller diameter solder that is lead free. So if this doesn't work out, if it's just too big for me to work with, then a little rosin came out. Then we'll use that. Now I know for small electronics, you usually want to use solid core lead at a small diameter, like 0.6, 0.8 millimeter. I don't have that, so we're going to see what this will do for us. I'm not wiring circuitry in a motherboard or a PCB or anything, so I think it should be okay. Got our handy dandy side cutters. These guys have seen some shit. But they're my tried and true side cutters. I used to use these for modeling, then they got used for building Havelock, and now they're just my all-purpose, ways to cut small wire. Got strippers here. I got them calibrated so that they can deal with this wire. This is really small, delicate wire. This should work just fine. I've also got. We're going to talk about this guy in just a sec because he's way just too cool for school. Always, doesn't matter what you're doing, have toothpicks. Right, there's a few implements you can never go wrong with having around. Tongue depressors, toothpicks, cotton swabs, cotton balls. Those are the big four. Not to mention some form of tape. I really, really like this frog tape. This frog tape works really great for me, especially with model making, because the nature of the adhesive is such that I'm able to take a piece off, like lay it down on my shirt or my pants, take it off, puts a little lint on there and frees up some of the adhesion. which I really, really like. Blue tape pretty much does the same thing. I just have really good run with this. I've had less stellar results with the blue tape, to be honest. We got these little magnifying mask here. I will definitely be using this because this is tiny, tiny work in a dark area. So this has got actually a little light on it. Here, let me see if I can't blind you. Boop. It's got a little light. Should be adjustable. Yeah, there it goes. And I think the batteries are going dead, but hopefully it'll get us through this. I also brought out my little glue gun. Actually, it's the only glue gun I have. My bigger one died. But my little glue gun for potentially securing the switch. I haven't decided what I want to do with that. I'm thinking I want to do a hot glue on it, and then do a cyanoacrylate glue on it, and then maybe I can secure a little bit of the wiring with this so I don't get rattling and movement and all that shit. Not like this model is going to be, played as it would be if it were truly a toy, but still. Alcohol. Alcohol is very important because we need to be able to clean our flux off, and this does the job. I don't have any 99%, and I understand that's the best way to go. This is what I got, so this is what we're using. And again, flux, got water-soluble, water-based flux here, and flux is extremely important for making sure that all the metals move around nicely. We don't get oxides in the way and all that kind of shit. I'm still going to screw it up, I'm sure, but we got flux. Now, I like to watch a lot of Louis Rosman from Rosman Repair Group, who does actual micro soldering and PCBs and shit like that. So I'm probably going to use way more flux than I should, but hey, when you see him do his thing and he's flooding things with flux, despite people saying that's too much flux, you got to go with the master, so I am going to myself. Last couple things, of course, this. We got super glue gel here. I like Gorilla Glue glues. Honestly, I have really good luck with them. Good bonding and stuff. They're all pretty much the same, but again, it's just, I don't know if you call it maker superstition or whatever, but once you find a product that tends to work with you really well, you stick with it even though every other product is pretty much the same. So I got my Gorilla Glue here. I already put tape on here. I might need to take that off because I probably need to pop this guy in half. Actually, I didn't think of that. Shit. But I also got a whole bunch of heat shrink. This is really important for making sure all your joints, your connections, your splices are well protected. This does not have the smallest diameter I would need, but it is 3:1 shrink tubing, which means that when I apply heat to it, it's going to go to 1/3 at maximum of its size, so it should be okay. Comes in a variety of colors, so might be cool to put clear on there just to see what it looks like inside. I enjoy stuff like that. The last thing I want to show you is this guy, because he's freaking awesome. For Havelock, when I made my computer, I decided that I wanted to do all the custom cabling and wiring and all that. Now, like if you're just putting a computer together, you don't need to do that. There's no reason. You can get this stuff all prefabricated, including getting cables sleeved and all that. But part of the deal with Havelock, part of the thing I wanted to do was really, I don't have a better word for this, but intimately know my computer that I built, right? So I built every single freaking wire in that computer by hand. Means both terminal ends, means all connections. It also means that all the sleeving and the heat shrinking were done by hand by me. I used this to accomplish the heat shrinking. This dude is like a little micro. It's not really a heat gun, but it kind of is. So it doesn't actually have a flame that comes out of here. Instead, I'll just try to do this without killing my camera. Oh, I got it locked. There we go. See that? It just creates, it heats this screen up here and it gets it really hot so you can get in close, and it's localized. So you can actually, unlike a flame which is going to have a heat signature going all the hell the way out here, so it's much closer. It's all the way out here, right? If that's not a good perspective. I'm struggling. All the way out here where you're like, okay, I can feel heat. This is going to be much closer. Still very hot and will get the job done. Much safer. The cool thing about this though, that I always thought was interesting, it runs on a standard lighter. Right? There's not any special butane tank or any freaking thing you got to do that with. It's just a lighter. I love this thing. It's one of my favorite, most specific, non-multi-purpose tools, except for, I guess it is now, it's really good with dealing with heat shrinking. And I'm going to bet it's going to do a lot better than anything else I could do with these really super tiny ass wires. All right, so that's the story on that. Now, the patient. Oh, these are, by the way, helping hands. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're just, they hold shit while you're having to work around it. Okay, the patient. Here is their patient. Right over yonder. You know what I could do? Where's my... Give me a second. I'm going to go grab my phone. Before I do, hey, Entropy. Entropy, I'm going to need your help because I suck at soldering. And I ask the ardent forgiveness of everybody out there that actually knows what they're doing. This will be the 5th time in my life I've done anything reasonably significant in terms of soldering. See if I need to take this tape off anyway a little bit, so see if I can't get you in there. See if you can't see the cavity of the patient. It's kind of tricky. Okay, there we go. Trying to get a... So there you're seeing the backside of everything. It's very dark, and I can't do much about that, and sorry about the shaking and everything. But this is one of the things when I was saying in my Discord, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. This is one of the problems, right? It's just super tiny. Like, perspective. There's my fingernail. I'm going to get right next to it. There we go. I am now right on top of that hole. So that's my fingernail. It's not a very large space to work in. Coincidentally, I'm not going to be soldering within there. It's going to be out here. I just need to shorten some of these wires. They are way too long. All right. But what we got here essentially is I'm going to need to. I've got a red wire and a black wire. So hot and ground days. Well, hot and nothing, neutral. Plus and minus. Even though I'm pretty sure that's not the way this shit works. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Entropy. But there is a watch battery, which you'll see because I'm gonna expose the insides here. I'm probably gonna just keep it this way so I get a sense of length that I want, but then we're gonna have to open it up and I'll remask it and everything, as I'm not gonna be probably needing to solder it in this form, which is great. So you'll probably be able to see more. But that goes to, the hot goes to this little switch here, which is just a momentary switch. Press it, turns on, press it again, turns off, press it, turns on, press it again, turns off, that kind of thing. Then we've got red and black wires, or pos neg wires for the head and for the chest, right? So I need to take the head and the chest wires, splice them together, and then put them into the circuit that contains the battery and this switch. So that's the plan for today. Before I do that, however, I think it's very smart of me. I don't mean that in a boastful way. I just think it's more like I don't trust myself way to practice actually soldering some of this shit together before I even attempt to deal with this. So that's what we're going to do. Now this soldering iron has never actually been used before. So let me get in a position that might be decent. Maybe something like that. We can try that. So we'll see. I also need to figure out how much of this I'm gonna need to splice. Yep, 2 circuits powered from one source. Pretty straightforward. Like the electronics part is just easy. The technical difficulty is going to be soldering. Another problem I kind of have is, this is the one thing I don't like about the soldering iron, is that it advertised having smaller chisel tips that come with it, and that's the tip that came with it. I think it'll be all right. Here's the trick. You need the most amount of metal possible in order to solder. This would be horrible for PCBs. Horrible. Now, in the limited amount of soldering that I do know this would be horrible. This is massive. Like, you're going to get solder all over the damn place if you use this. However, you're probably going to be just as bad off if you use... I think I put it over here. Yeah. And it's not horrible if you're an expert at this shit and you know what you're doing. I am not, and most people probably are not either. If you use this kind of thing, and I know there's a glare. Sorry about that. I don't know, maybe I can try to cover it a little bit with a shadow. You see these little tiny pointy tipped things? Those aren't great, and that's because it's basically, there's not a lot of mass in terms of the metal at those tips, which means you can damage some shit. You can create some problems. So it didn't come with a smaller chisel tip than that, which sucks, and I kind of needed it. But yeah, we're gonna try it with this. See what we can do with this. Oh no, like the thing with this, I still think I'm gonna do a much better job. I just wish it was a little bit smaller, little tiny bit smaller. The other reason is now I have to buy tips if I want to do some PCB wiring to make a lightsaber, which is no big deal. Just still, I think what pissed me off more than anything is it advertised as coming with those 2 other tips, and it didn't. You know. Yeah. I could. Oh, I know what I'll use. I'm just wanting to protect my tabletop. So I'm just going to grab my jig board here that I use for bending tubes. It's kind of large, but it's better that solder goes onto this than onto my actual surface, even though my actual surface is still, you know, messed up a bit. Doesn't use much power either. It's the thing that's great about this soldering iron that you can't see that I'm pointing at right here that I've noticed is it heats up like instantly. It's crazy. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, so make it so I can. It's got a nice mark there. I'd like to use that, but that's still kind of far away. Maybe we do. You guys tell me about angles and stuff, and if it's working for you. If it's not, maybe I could do a little something like that. That might be okay. Step 1. Camera won't focus. All right, I'm just gonna strip these wires. We're gonna go to town. We're just gonna see what's gonna happen. I had this set to 1/8 of an inch. I think I'm gonna go 1/4 inch. I'm gonna need some distance with that chisel tip, for sure. See, we can make all the mistakes we want now. Now's the time. Oh, I might need to recalibrate. Yeah. I don't have good strippers for this either. Well, that's not gonna work. That's too tight too. There we go. It's not great, but I got it to work. Let's just try another end. I don't want to be nibbling off, 1/4 inch chunks of wire as I go. Yeah, see, that's still too much. Like I'm doing right now. Nope. Okay. So right now I'm just trying to dial in this little knob right here. Lets me choose how much clamping pressure it has. These strippers were fantastic for dealing with my 16 gauge wire, my 16 and 18 gauge wire, but these are 28 gauge, 28 AWGs. And Jesus, right. And I do have some old-timey ones that may have worked on this somewhere, but I don't know where they are. There are strippers designed specifically for this type of wire. However, I don't have any. That's too light. This one's going to come off, I'm pretty sure. Oh. Still too light. Okay, I might be too heavy now. Let's go back one. Go. All right, I'm going to cut that off. We're going to try to strip another little piece here. Good thing brooms are a thing, because I'm going to have a lot of shit below me when I'm done. Okay. I'm now doing like eighths of a turn on this thing. Get out of there. Okay. Still not great. I got shit tons of this wire, so we'll go through this until we get it right. It's weird. It's like, okay, so I am noticing I'm able to consistently get this to work if I do it twice. So the first one is gonna like rip it off, and the second thing is gonna strip it. Oh, that worked. Okay, that's not bad. Hey, work is still being stupid. Yay. At least it's consistent. Torch soldering, yeah, that's I've never done that. I think that's technically brazing, isn't it? I have never done that. No, I think I've done one copper pipe before, and it was very ugly. All right, now a thing I got to consider. And hey, does anyone know how to do this at this scale? Because I looked online, and there doesn't seem to be shit other than twist them together and pray for the best. I'm kind of feeling like I might want even more. I'm trying to do sort of the NASA version of things, which I used on my splices for my computer, but I think this is going to be too small for me to do that. And I might need to, right now I just need to figure out what's going to work. That's all that matters. So if I do ye old-timey twisty tie method, which is fine, it's not great, but if it's all I can do, that's all I can do, and that's ye old-timey twisty tie method. This is fine for the splice that I need to do, so might as well do that. What I failed to do is tin these wires first, which I do. It's solid. It's core, solid core. It's not braid. If it was braid, I could do the split them together, or tie each side individually, and then wrap them around each other. But it's just straight up solid core. I don't know if I can get it to focus. Yeah, and it's tiny. It's 28. I don't think this is. I think this is so small. I don't know if I can do that. And I think I know what you're talking about, which is the NASA version of things, where you have two little spinny things at the end. Unless, oh wait, I think I know what you're talking about. Wait. Let me see. I think I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. And again, these are not going to get jostled around. It just needs to have a good enough connection to pass 3 volts. These are not big deal, heavy hitting, mission critical kind of deals. I probably need more wire exposed if I were to do that. But let me see if I'm picking up what you're putting down. This is not. I would need to take more off to do this. But I just want to see if entropy, I'm following your thing here. And I'm sorry I'm off camera. It's just really, really small, and I'm just going to put it in a position and then throw it up there to see if I'm sort of correct. Okay, it starts like this. Come on. Two little loops, like so, and then the wrapped around. Is that what you're talking about? See if I can get this wire around itself. Suppose I could try this with tweezers, but I have a horrible tendency to overdo the forces with tweezers and end up hurting things more than I help them. Come on, spin around, baby. I don't know that I could get, well actually, Yeah, I mean it's worth a shot, right? That's not pretty. I went past the insulation, and I'm probably just going to need to try to get more insulation off than I have. That's hard on these wires, I've noticed. Come on, hand, help it out. Just one little brief glimpse. And come on. There. I think it's about as good as I can make it. Yeah, half an inch is going to be rough. We can try it. I'm going to use the long side on this. Okay, definitely going to need to tighten that down now. I might have to go try to find them. Ooh, actually, I think I've got my really good computer one somewhere. Nope, that got it. That got it. We'll try this U business. Entropy, the fact that you are making your own custom keyboard with PCB and all, yeah, I definitely trust your judgment on this. We gonna try it. Yep, see, eats the whole thing. Now if I do it again, let's see if it works somehow weirdly. So that's what it's been doing. Weird. That's just weird. It worked. So it has to eat whatever I give it, and then it will work. I'm not sure what that is, to be honest, Entropy. I need a better bending thing. Yeah, this will work. Just making a little U here. Through-hole component PCB. Ooh, so it's sort of like a breadboard with the traces already. Is that resembling? For wires this small, do I need to actually like tin them? Is that a thing? Probably. I'm just not sure what, because they're so small, I'm going to be applying so much heat to them, I don't know what value I'd get out of that. Do this. So do a squeezy. Squeezy, squeezy. So, then a spinny, spinny. Yep, no braid. It's all core. All right, Entropy, I'm gonna try this. To be honest, I've never dealt with, in my limited experience playing with wire, I've never dealt with solid core for electronics. Okay, let's see what Entropy thinks. If I can get it to focus. Sometimes I go really close and it tries to pop in. Almost there. Okay. That might be as good as I can get it. Okay. Yeah, if you want, just whisper it to me. Helping hands. Trying to get it somewhere so you can sort of see what I'm doing. Okay, now. Whoa, you went sideways. My flux is all on the side. That's all right, you go there. A goodly amount of flux. Okay. We're gonna start. I'm gonna start with trying to deal with this leaded. It's like so massive in comparison. It's all right. My tip all clean here. Okay. Good. Okay. I'm doing this in the wrong angle. So that's why I've got this board right here. But it did wick pretty well right there. Okay. That went surprisingly well. Clean this up a little bit. Master entropy. Will you look at my work? I don't know if you can see it. My fume extractor presently is this fan and my open door, and me holding my breath while doing what I'm doing. I don't solder enough to justify it, TBH. That went far better than I thought it would. I gotta be honest. I just wish you could see it. I want you to see the joint. Here, I wonder. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna break the law of thermodynamics here. Okay, camera control, focus. Can I move you out of the way? I can't, good. This is always a pain in the ass to do, but maybe it'll help. You're not auto. And that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. Look good? It's got shininess. It doesn't look like it's oxidized. Looks like it's wicked all the way through everything. Seems good. I got a little bit of a pointy edge that I want to mess with just to see if I can't solve. Yeah, there we go. Stabbing it. Good, there we go. All right. Got rid of the stabby thing. Seems decent enough. Half a second of reflow usually, well, I hope that was the case just now. I'm putting fairly significant, like you can see I'm white knuckling holding onto this. That's some pretty significant. Yeah, it's not coming apart. I think that's mission success. Okay, so that's how I'm doing the straight joints. Now, the thing that I need to do is, and I'm glad Entropy, I really am glad you're here because you know this stuff. way better than I do. I need to essentially have a straight splice like this, but with 2 wires up here, right? So there's going to be 2 wires going to 1 wire. To do that, what I'm imagining is I'm going to twist 2 of the wires in parallel, right? The usual kind of installing a ceiling fan kind of twist. And then when I've got those 2 wires taken care of pretty well, I'll probably try to take off a little extra insulation on that. Then when I got those 2 wires taken care of, apply them as I have here, is my idea. Just had to fix my camera a little bit. At least that's the theory. I hope. Okay, so for the moment you can shut off while I configure our patient here. A little extra solder. A little pretty solder missile. Okay. So let me I made this little cradle as well. I've got some felt and this little cradle. I'm just gonna put you here for a sec. Sorry if you saw my armpit. This is an old shirt. So I got this cradle here, and I've got it on felt so I don't scratch the living crap out of the model. But I also have it on felt in case if I end up dropping solder like I did there, it's going to go on this felt. So cool. I hope that works. All right. First of all, I have to take all my very careful taping here and remove it, because I have to separate this part, and I'm kind of happy I have to separate this part here, because less parts involved means less parts that can get hurt. Oh, and for those that haven't seen it, I did do some mods, some more painting up front. Here, let me just grab the. It's a little bit bright. Adjust. Down. Where can I? Sorry for jostling you around. But as you can see, I yellowed the visor up. It looks much better in person. That looks a little bit, frozen pea colored. And the turbine. I did a red edging on it, and I made the core red, and I also put yellow on it. I think that looks much better in person. It always bothered me, the clear turbine part. Which is totally what you want when we're going to be doing the LED stuff, but when I have the LED off, I still want it to look cool. Oh, thanks, man. I hope I can keep it that way and not break it to shit while I'm trying to wire LEDs. I need to move this a little bit this way. I need to move this a little bit more this way. Please behave. Okay, there we go. All right, I just need to take a moment to separate some things here. And I need a safe place to put these. There's my case. I can just use that. Okay. Or they can just sit on here. Nothing wrong with that. It's safer than anything else. Definite practice, dude. Like this is the most ambitious paint job I've ever done in my life. Easily. Well, this is gonna be fun considering I'm gonna be trying to do this without. Maybe here. Oh, thank God. Okay. Without my separator. I had to do a bunch of crazy shit with the head to... Can I walk you through this? Maybe I can. Well, I'm going to try. Because I had to do some really crazy shit internally to make all this work. Okay. Alright. Here we go. Now you've got a much clearer view, actually, of everything. So this is great. Much easier to see. Can I... I'm going to try to make this so it's stationary for you guys. Maybe. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Okay. So here's all the insides of Gipsy Danger. You can see... I need a pointy thing. Here's a pointy thing. So you see here what I had to do. There's an LED in the head, and in order to get the LED in the head, I basically had to gut the head. I had to remove all the internal pieces, which means that this head became hollow, which means it has very little structural integrity. Luckily, this little plate right here does hold the bottom parts together, and they hold themselves together towards or against the top of the helmet, which you can't see. Okay, so here, right where my toothpick is, and where it's being as blurry as it can possibly be, because it's my camera, and we couldn't have it be actually in focus. There we go. This neck is actually clear. You gonna focus? Camera. This neck is actually clear. What I had to do is I had to take something called a pin driver, which is a tiny little drill, and basically drill all along it so I could make space for these wires. Now normally that wouldn't be a big deal, but there's a resistor on this wire to this LED, which is required to make the LED function, which means I had to make a larger, much larger hole. What started out as a solid piece ended up being somewhere around half to 1 millimeter in diameter for a wall. That ain't much. So I had to do a bunch of things with some cyanoacrylate and really boost it and buff it up as much as I could, basically to affix it to the base here. It still moves and everything, so I'm very happy with that, but that was a big challenge. Yeah, there is a bit of underglow. Not much, but there is a bit of underglow, and it's pretty cool. You can catch it at night, for sure. But you see, we've got our wires then coming over top, the little power source here. Please, I would dearly love for you to focus ever so slightly. Here, you want to do something with this? Okay, I'm gonna do this again. I you know, it sucks, but I'd prefer you could see this. So if I have to do this manually, I have to do this manually. Autofocus on this camera blows ass at macro. I can't. I just can't. Can't even. Can't see it. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I wonder if I can... Nope. I can't. Right, round two. Okay, there. That's a bit better. Okay, so for now, we'll just background those. All right. So these come from the head LED. They come down here. This little blob right here is just some hot glue I inserted in here very carefully with basically a toothpick to just secure these two wires here, making sure they don't go anywhere. I try to make it so all the internal componentry here that we have fits into just the front half, as you see here. To change the battery, I have to basically take the guy and split him in two, you know? But it's worth it. I have, you know, a place to actually get this battery to fit, which I probably should remove now before we start soldering things. Back into your cradle. There you go. All right. Kind of hard to see here, but you see this. This is the LED, the actual LED for the turbine part. The wires you're seeing here are actually the power source that I'm kind of lifting up right now. That's power source. What I did is I took the LED and I sanded it on its tip. First, I sanded the whole thing just to make it a little bit more opaque because that gives better spread for the light. But then I sanded the tip and made it flat, and then I glued it to the backside of the actual turbine piece. Following that, and I used a little CA gel for that, and then that I painted it and, you know, clear coated it and all that, and I also slightly bent the legs apart just to make sure I could try to get it to fit onto one side pretty easily. Now here's the thing, these spaces are super tiny, right? I'm not going to have any, you know, I can get this to be really tight. It's like I can cut this thing way the hell down and just have it intersect with this. Like, so you can see I've got, let me get this negative out. I've got miles of extra wire here. Because I mean, technically I could, all I need to do is make it do this. That's all the length that I would need. Now I'm definitely going to have to do it a little bit further out so I don't damage my piece, right? But that's all I really got to do. And when I do this, I need to figure out a way to protect it in case I get solder drip, which is going to be the masking tape, I guess. Same thing for the negatives. They're all super tiny little distances we have to travel. But the big thing I got to figure out is I am going to have to disconnect the switch, which I am nervous about, and resolder it, you know, somewhere closer in so that I can mount it on the other plate. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think I probably should leave this exactly as it is and just maybe wind it up. Oh, hi, Amethyst. Best Monday ever. Hell yeah. So what I'm thinking is, and it's not the best idea, but trying to mount this switch like just inside here. Like here. I wish I could show you. There we go. Maybe I do this. Okay. Mounting the switch basically right here with some glue. That's what I'm thinking. CAing this to the bottom and then, you know. See, the problem is these forks, shall we call them? Actually, I don't know. Maybe I could. I bet I could. They're just light metal. I could probably make these a little bit smaller. Because I have to be able to move them along that and still close it up. I think that's going to be the best plan that we got. So that's my overall game plan. Is just make the wires shorter, get them spliced together, and you know. There you go. Let me get you reset back up so you can watch me destroy this beautiful model. Probably a little bit lower. A little bit lower. Like that. Okay, so the next thing is I need to isolate the work, which means I need to keep the shit I don't want to work on yet out of the way. And this is the power supply. We're not going to get those going yet. First thing is to cut the dudes to length and get them spliced. Oh, my little hot glue connection's already wiggling out on me, which means I might have to redo it. That's all right. Okay, and red to red, black to black. Yep, there it goes. Just gonna have to redo that. Okay, red to red is here. I'm thinking about lengths here. If I have a way to basically protect the model, I can get these things awfully close, I think. Gotta think. I don't know about that, Entropy. I guess we'll see. Alright, well, at the very minimum, I can do this. I don't want this tape to be super sticky on purpose. It just needs to kind of just sit there and look pretty. It's just a little bit of extra protection just in case someone decides to fly away. Just like a surgery. It's going to help me not drop a tool in there. this wire as well. Okay. When they updated the body of the 3D printer head, printed them, went to install it, and realized you run the wire through the enclosed circle of the 3D. Oh, okay. But you fixed it, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do the microsurgery. Better cover her butt as well. And her side pieces there. Okay, so we got that. Is there anything else I could do to protect this? Now, even if it were like maybe a little thing of aluminum foil, that might be a good idea. Actually, I don't know. It might melt through it. Or I could try to put it on its side as I do this. That might be the plan, actually. I should probably do that. I'm going to keep the tape on, but try to put it on its side as I do this. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get approximate. We're going to start with the red wires, I think. Okay, no turning back now. I might need to work my way around. Oh, I forgot about that part. Well, yikes. Not good. Okay, plan B. Strippers aren't working. Nice strippers, dude. Ugh. Okay. Insulation's too good for that. I forgot I have these. I should have gotten these out to begin with. I actually do have hardcore electronics strippers. Hi, Gitch. If I didn't say hi already, I'm sort of halfway in panic right now. Where's this thing? I forgot. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully these will work. Oops. Not if I keep doing that, they won't. Clutch thing. Yeah, I don't know that these are gonna work. Oh, you were doing good. Why'd you start fucking up on me? Okay. Shit, guys. Okay, I may have a solution. It's not ideal. Like at all. No. That also sucks. What am I going to do? I have like no more room that I can fuck with on this wire right here. Right, the nip X's aren't working. How about you? It's gonna make me do it this way. I don't have much of a choice. Shit. Alright. Fuck. Alright. I'm just gonna have to get really close up into here. What else can I use? I'll be right back. Several minutes of terror later. Sorry for leaving you just hanging, guys. I had to find something that worked. I found something that worked. As you can see. That was terrifying. Okay. I haven't given up on these entirely yet. They were working before. You know what I think? I just need to not... Sorry, it's just not stripping that much. It's going to have to be really little tiny shit. Or I have to do multiples. And I'm fine to do that if I need to. In other words, I take small chunks off at a time. Okay. Try that again. Okay, that is breaking it. No, don't waste your spoons. Okay. Okay, that's no longer cutting. Good. We want that. That is stripping. I think I found the golden thing finally. Next wire I do, I'm sure is going to strip or going to fail on me. All right, so I've got it comfortably doing 1/4 inch. And if I have to work in really tiny proportions, so be it. So be it. I'm gonna start on this really long version of shit just to see. See? Totally fine. Totally fine. So I'm gonna have to get really nice and in there on this one too. Unfortunately, because I'm gonna be bending the LED all over hell if I don't. I don't even know. You guys can sort of see it, yeah. Here, sorry, gonna have to take it out of frame. Okay, yay. It's totally fine. These guys are fine with getting a 1/4 inch stripped off. So we're going to let them. And I've got these tweezers, so maybe I can do the loopy thing that Entropy talked about, which would be great if I could. It's going to be scary soldering this, though, because that's not much wire. Oh, please. Amazon, now is not the time. Okay. Can't see what I'm doing. Well, at least that you've got the small video camera up there. Hopefully that's all right. We just fell off. Oh no! Fuck. Alright. I'm running out of options here. Okay, that's about as good as it's gonna get. So now, I'm really gonna have to do something weird. Okay, I sort of have a plan. Though my thing that I did with this to strip worked, but ha ha ha, it fell off. Where'd my... So now I'm gonna have to do something a little bit different. And I've seen this work too, so it's kind of my last ditch effort because I can't spin, it's just a little frickin' nub. I have to find a way to solder that without twisting the wires up. Oh, and they don't need a hook. I fucked that up to begin with. They don't need a hook. Okay, that changes things a little bit. I'm still going to try to do a thing that I've seen done before. Try to get this insulation off, this wire. Right now what I'm doing, you can't see it, I'm just removing insulation from another one of these wires here. Okay, so here's what my plan is. I'm going to get the magic helmet on. Oh, yeah, it's, I think it's graphite, is what they called it. I'm panicking. I'll show you why I'm panicking. I'll show you why. I'll show you why I'm panicking and Entropy is facepalming. This is nice and snug. Okay. Light on. Doesn't really help all that much. Okay. You see this wire right here? There should be a lot more wire to work with than that. That's why I'm panicking. My palms are securely underneath my chin. So it's more of a crowsip moment. I have every pair of strippers that I could find out on the table right now. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I hope. Can I? Okay. I wish to God I could get more exposed there, but I can't. I can't safely. I can't risk it. I cannot at all risk it. So here's what I'm going to try to do. Take this little dude and bend him up. Take this little dude, bend him up. Okay. I don't even know if what you can or can't see, guys. I'm sorry. But I'm sort of terrified right now. It just needs to work. That's all it needs to do. Okay, we've got the lightest of connections on there. It's almost nothing in terms of connection. And at this point it may or may not work. I think it will. I hope it will. You just have to pretend like we're doing like a PCB or something. I'm trying to make it so you guys can see something. Maybe over here would work. There. Can you not? Thanks. I just don't have any good way to strip this wire now. I'm gonna have to bring it close to my face for a sec. Hopefully the first one's the suck one, and the rest of them will be behave. Okay. Almost no contact. All right. Entropy, I'm out of ideas, so. Or anybody else that solders. That's pretty much the best I could do. It is metal on metal contact. See, I don't even know if you can see where the connection is, but I did get 2. It carbonizes. Actually, with the iron, I don't know. Let's try that. Good call. I didn't try it with the actual iron. I tried it with my little deal here, but we can try it with the iron just to see what it does. It doesn't melt, it carbonizes into the frickin' metal, might I add. That's what happened to me. We're gonna try it with the iron. See? That went from 0 to 300C in that amount of time. That's all long it took. No, it's hefty shit. Wow. Good insulation, though. There we go. Okay, this might actually work. Do a little something like that. Yeah, yeah. If I do it a very specific way, it will work. All right, I think it's worth a try because this is just like almost no connection whatsoever. It is a connection, but it is so tiny and minuscule that it's like might as well not be considered a connection. Okay. The trick is to do this without touching any plastic whatsoever. Which means I'm going in deep, guys. Please, dear God, give us this day daily bread. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, fuck. I need counter pressure. It's coming. Slowly but surely. Come on, baby. Yes. Okay. Good frickin' call, entropy. MVP, dude. That's 3 times as much exposure that I had than what I had before. Oh God. Whew! I can still fuck this up though. Let's not fool ourselves here. All right, I need to get rid of some of this shit in my way. It's things to knock over and. Okay. Well, we have a way. We have a way. So what I had to do is basically melt a path around the edges, which did carbonize a little bit, but then I was able to lift it off, and that worked. All right, I'm having a vape break for a sec. Holy shit, guys. All right, Gidge. Hope you have a good rest before job number 2. May the dulcet tones of my panic lull you off to sleep. All right. Need to get way close up again, because these are pretty much as close as they can be without being straight now. And this is going to be a nice standard twisty tie of a joint. I don't know how I'm going to protect this either, because I can't really get this to straighten. I guess I can a little bit. Try to get this into a nice tight little coil without breaking the wires. Okay, that's not too bad. What's an angle I could give at least? There we go. I think we can do that. Okay, I'm gonna try to. That ain't gonna be easy to get protected though. Get rid of some of these things that could scratch my model. Out of my way. Scratch my model. Okay. Now the thought process is how much space do I need from here to here? A decent chunk, I would bet. So imagine this is the back. I would need about that much. That seems about right. You guys can't see the lineup very well. Maybe I can make it so you can see it. There you go. So it's still floating out there a little bit. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to give ourselves a little bit more slack than we did last time. Now, before I do this, I need to remember to put heat shrink on. Fuck these nippers, dude. I'm just gonna have to do the soldering iron thing on everything. Like, it works and then it just doesn't. Yeah. Vastly safer. Vastly safer. Yeah, and that's I did do that this time. Thank God. Alright, so now we gotta do this whole hook thingy. Before I do that though, I need to get my heat shrink. Where would you live? The tiniest of tiny little heat shrinks. Here it is. We're just going to use black because it's on top. And hopefully this will really scrunch down. Still really big. You know what? I probably should try a piece. Just to see what it does. Come on. Let's see how it responds to this little super ass tiny wire. Can you see it? Come over here. Just spin it around. Chunky shit. As long as it basically stays on the wire, and yep, it melted it. I'm all right with that. It's chunky, but it's insulated. All right. Back to the beating. Oh, yes. A marshmallow that's going to make me cry. A cry mallow. Alright. Now the trick is to just not fuck up. I have these on for a reason. Probably should use them. Try to get elbow stability here without burning it off. Just one more twist up top. There we go. Okay. Now I think I need to try to curve these guys away from each other. Like so. This shit is terrifying, guys. Why did I ever think this was a good idea? The old finger will probably do a better job. There we go. Alright, and then this guy, about halfway in. Yeah, a little bit less than that, probably. I said a little bit less than that, probably. Okay. Can you see anything? No. Sorry. That's better for both of us. Can't you? Can you see the terror? Are you through? You are through. Okay. Now, listen to. Skis. This guy here. And spin him around. We're doing this and it's gonna work. God damn it. I wonder if the old fingernail is probably a better idea. Not really. It's actually doing its thing. I just keep reversing my progress. There we go. That's how to not reverse progress. Pull it through. Pull them through. Sorry if I'm ignoring chat too. You can tell this is kind of intense shit. That's pretty good. The bottom one. I'm just going to be lucky to get a squeeze out of, I think. As long as that hoop part is connected, that's what matters. Okay. All right, guys. Give me a second. I'll try to adjust the focus. All right, that's about as good as I'm going to be able to make that. What? Godzilla? Wait, I have so much to catch up on. You'll survive the next one. You guys kind of need to survive therapy because this may kill me. What is that thing poking out? I don't like that. Need to redo my focus now. Okay, let me find out what this thing is. It's sort of poking out. Oh, it's nothing. It's just fuzz. All right, now all we have to do is forget to fucking put heat shrink on. That's not a mechanical connection. All right, well, I kind of have to have the heat shrink. I don't actually now that I think about it, I don't know about this heat shrink though. It's massive shit. Like, yeah, I need it. All right, that sucks like majorly. But maybe what I can do to make things easier is I can just rely on this big wire right here and snake it on through once I get it separated. Fun thing about wires is they're always easier to pull apart than to put together. Just don't want to bend it so much that it snaps. Okay, that's going to take some fiddling, but I think I can get it back through that hoop. Make sure I'm around here. Not much. About half of this. Ain't the prettiest, but I just needed to get the job done. Alright. Might need to try to cut some excess off on this pass. It came out not quite in the middle. Or I can just sort of short wrap it, maybe. Short wrap it and then tuck it back in on itself, maybe. Certainly it's going to have more than enough insulation around it once I put this massive ass 3-to-1 on. Yeah, I looked on Amazon and everything like takes a year and a half to get here. So I guess no one ever insulates these wires, except for Evans Designs, who is where I got this LED kit from. Not sponsored, but much appreciated. Camera. Why? Yeah, you can see better if I actually move it toward me. Okay, there, we got the heat shrink on, and it's still going to be large, but I think that should cover me on all the ends. All right, YOLO. You guys ready for some YOLO? I know I am. I'm going to kind of do it on its side, I think. So you can be part of the fun. CA and saran wrap. Interesting. Yeah, you know, actually, I guess there's nothing wrong with, you could totally just CA the whole thing and call it good. Right? Okay. There's that. And I'm gonna do this over here, I think. Okay. Oh my God. Guys, I think we have victory. I think that actually fucking worked. I can't believe it. So what I did is re-tinned the soldering iron, and then as I was going, I actually applied the solder to it so it had a little bit of bubble floating on top of it. I threw it underneath it and then put solder on to suck it up, and it worked. Oh my God. This is horrible. Horrible. Why would I do this to myself? I would do it for a model. I would do it for a pretty. There it is. All right. Last terrifying step of this wire is heat shrinkage. And it's particularly terrifying because I'm going to have to do this off camera. You guys will have to just watch this small camera because I'm going to be applying copious amounts of heat to a very small part that is actually quite near my plastic. And I had to deal with this as well on computers. The trick is, take your frickin' time. Try to direct it as far up as you can. Go in there, hit it, run away. Kind of do the move back and forthy thingy. Also very helpful. And since I'm having to go all the way down on this, it is gonna get the insulation a little pissed off and a little bit wanting to burn. That's how she goes. All right. Anyone deformed? No one's deformed. That's gonna sit there until the insulation is completely cool. You can see like this little white dot. That's the insulation actually sucking that stuff together. This is huge insulation for that size wire. Like the insulation size that Evan's design actually puts on there is correct, but oh my God. Oh, hi Colette. I've been at this for about an hour and a half, and boy, has it been terrifying. Absolutely freaking terrifying. Terrifying, terrifying, terrifying. We just got our first wire section put together. Oh, man. All right, now, onto the black wires, which is going to be pretty similar to the red wire. What about... there. There, let me give myself a little bit more. Okay. Same procedure, but now that I have practice, this shouldn't be as scary. Yeah, it could. It could definitely. Thank you for reminding me of that, Colette. Thank you for. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. But now I have. Thanks, Colette. Yeah, it's only like hundreds of hours of work. No biggie. Piece of cake. I need to get on this side. I need to move. Okay, I think that got it. Pretty much. No, actually, here's the thing. I did think of that. It would not screw up the work, right? If I felt like something was going to go wrong, and this tape is also pretty damn good insulator for the heat, as long as you don't apply it directly to the tape. The worst comes to worst, I don't have an LED unit. That's the worst case scenario, right? If that were to fail, I'm like, well, no LED unit, and it's just gonna be in here doing nothing. That was my worst case. Luckily, I don't think that is the case. I think we got good solid solder connection. Entropy's here to concur or disagree, which is very important, very good thing to have. It's like, okay, that looks good. That looks bad. That is helpful. That's what I mean by that. You know, it's like, hey, look at this joint. Does that seem all right? Yeah, it looks like it should work. Yay! Went a little far on this, I think. That's all right. But this is good just in terms of these wires, in terms of, you know, a decent technique to get the super small insulation off. Man, speaking of like watching Louis Rossmann do his thing on YouTube, like they use wires and the insulation is basically just a thin layer of lacquer, because that's how small these wires they use are. They're tiny wires. I just spit on myself, didn't I? There. Success. All right, now these guys are just going to be your standard twisty together guys, which is form a 90-degree-ish angle or thereabouts. Make sure that the insulation is crossing itself. There we go. And this ends up actually being much more wire real estate to work with than the last one. So it's not going to have a problem getting back through this direction. I need to correct this a little bit. There we go. Okay, there's that. And then this guy, I think I'm just going to mimic the distance on here. Seems reasonable to do. Okay. And to about, yeah, about there. Okay. Look what I'm not forgetting this time. Let me see here. Hey, Sally's now is acting like it's California. Bar top epoxy sounds like some hardcore heavy duty shit, dude. We have to pay for bags, period, because California. Which, I mean, honestly, I don't... As much as California drives me crazy, that part I can live with. It hasn't really bothered me. I care. We have our own bags and shit, and it's, you know, no big deal. I'm having a hard time getting to this side. Get the gross plastic off my happy shiny new soldering iron. Good. Right. Now we do the splicey. I would have liked a little bit more curl. There we go. Got the middle. And very simply, very gingerly.
Parts.
I am streaming. Just so you know. Because I know you don't like to be on camera.
I'm throwing away diarrhea.
Can I have the light, please?
What?
Can I have the light back on, please? You turned the light off.
I did?
Yeah.
Weird.
Thank you. Yes. Like many others, Mrs. Dr. Protron does not like to appear on camera. on her times 3, and then she turns the light off on me because revenge. Okay. For your inspection, sir. That seems all right. It's got the holes and stuff to catch the solder. I'm working here. No, honestly, it's just straight up. She doesn't like to be on camera, so. And she just was on camera, by the way. I think you saw her. So congratulations, you got a very rare Mrs. Dr. Crotron sighting. I think that'll work. We are going to find out. All right. I can't in any way, shape, or form bitch about this soldering iron. I gotta be honest. It's of all the tools that I've used today, it has worked the best. In fact, it saved my ass with the insulation. So the flux is working really well too, though. Anyway, gotta give it up for the flux. Where did I put my coil of solder? Here it is. This is a bad angle. Better angle. Restart. Got a bit of a blob there. A little overzealous on that one. All right, there we go. Go ahead and turn off the soldering iron. There you go. What do you think? That looks decent to me. It's nice and shiny. I think I got solder everywhere it needs to be. No! Oh, Jesus, guys. All right. That is what we like to call the point of no return. I just need to pick you up. Actually, I think from here might be a better angle. Also, if you put your finger slightly near it, like I am, if it's too hot for your finger, you're going to know it's too hot for the plastic. All right, let's let that cool down. Tesla and Angel, hello. Adventures in soldering. You know what went the best today was the actual thing I was most concerned about, which was actually soldering. God, man. No heat feeling in your right hand. Why? Is it just adaptation? Just used to it? When I was cooking for work, that happened to me. So you just get so used to lifting, picking up things that are basically super hot. Okay, still a little bit warm. Gonna let it fully do its thing. Oh, you have previously burnt your right hand fairly badly. That sucks, dude. But the nerves aren't happy dudes, yeah. That sucks. Well, you're always going to win hot potato. All right. Time to undrape our patient here and pray to God that as we experienced up front, so happened beneath. Because I don't think that nothing was hot enough to burn me. So hopefully that's going to be the case here. Well, unfortunately we do have a casualty, but it's just a decal. I'm not thrilled about it, but I take that over what else it could have been. See? Decal death. That's alright. At least it's on its butt. Okay, moment of truth time. Positive is top, I believe. Let me make sure. Positive is bottom. Oh, that's unfortunate. I didn't realize it moved over that fucking much. What am I gonna do with this? Oh God, guys, no! Well, that fucks me. Or not. I might be able to actually make this work. Let me move you over. You. Well, there goes that. Fuck. I don't even know what I can do with this. We're gonna have to do some weird splicey shit. If we can. I don't even know that we can. Yep. Definite uh-oh. And that wasn't even, I don't even know what happened there. I'm going to try something a little experimental here. So we are plugged in. On. Yeah, whatever, you can stay there. I definitely need to be way fucking up close for this, though. So forgive me, guys. All right. Let's get experimental. The issue is that one of the wires actually, well, a couple things. One is this wiring ended up being way too close to the battery holder, but now I'm basically just going to have to do a splice within a splice, is what I'm hoping I can do. It's what I'm going to try to do, at least. Or just another splice. It's not a splice within a splice. It's not like Inception splice. But that all depends on whether or not what I'm about to try here is going to work. Yeah, I figured you'd fall out. So just a raw wire going into here. Okay, and need you guys to connect. Even if it's briefly. Oh my god, it worked. Well, no, wait, it didn't. Because I pulled this out, I need to make sure that that helmet works too. I need you guys to cooperate. God, this is terrifying. This whole process. Learning is horrible. Who would want to do that? Problem is, I don't really have a way to get into the helmet. See, that's the issue here. And I knew that would be a problem, but I was hoping it wouldn't be. I am getting information right now about how far this is going. Okay, guys. I don't know if you can see it. Oh god, it's too bright. Okay, I'm just having to contort myself in weird ways. See the helmet? Helmet's on. We can fix this. Okay. We can fix this. We can fix this. Alright. Step one is I need to secure this thing, so let's see how deep this goes. Okay. Approximately half. Okay. I can't... Shit. This can't necessarily be bare wire either. Because it totally could brush up against that battery. Try to be pretty specific about how deep it is. All right. Think about this. How do I want to deal with this? Back this out little by little. Then the only thing I can think to do, because that is right up there. The only thing I can think to do in entropy, if you have a different idea, I'm all ears. But is to CA glue it in. That's the only thing I can think to do. Would that? Do you think that would be a problem from an electrical connection standpoint? I don't want to fuck with this once I do that. So this is going through right now. Basically, the only thing I can think to do, and I know it's difficult to see. Maybe I can flip it around so you can see it a bit better. So what I have to do is, what happened is this broke behind the insulation. So the only thing I can think to do is insert the wire. I'm going to have a little bit hanging out there, and I'll figure out a way to deal with that at some point. I'll just throw some more CA on it or something to insulate it. But CA glue this in this position basically is all I can think to do. Because as you can see, it's this far back, and how the hell am I supposed to splice something that far back in? All right, let's go the CA glue route then. I just need a little something. This pile will do fine. Okay, I'm just gonna have to sit here and do nothing, guys. Sorry. I have to hold this by hand. Okay, it still has definite curing time and all that shit to go. But now we're just gonna do the test again. The test is successful. It works. Okay. So now this guy just needs to sit here for a second. I'm gonna need another toothpick. And I'm just going to place a little bit here. Maybe I can get you to be able to see a little bit what I'm doing. Place a little bit around the edges here on this guy. Try to get it to capillary action into the insulation, like so, to give it, as best as I can, a little bit more relief. I want you springing around, and I don't want you touching other things that you're not supposed to be touching, sir. God damn, this is... If all that comes out of here is I lose part of the butt decal that said caution, which was still a pretty cool decal, I'll live with it. If I need to, I can always find a decal that says something similar. Oh, it's your birthday? Happy birthday, Angel. Sorry, I'm being a really bad streamer, but this is just so freaking intense, guys. Okay. Give myself shit tons of room to work with. Turn you off. Now. Very carefully push red wire through. It's the safest place I can think for this thing to be, is in place. Like so. Sorry, guys. I think I know why it broke right there, too. Because this fucking insulation just doesn't want to comply. I think what I need to do before I resolder this is secure this thing where it needs to be. And it presently is not wanting to do that. Now that I did that, I need to... Forgot to strip the wire. See, it worked first time that time. Smart ass little... Little hooksy doodle. Please. just need a cute little temporary connection. An adorable, cute little temporary connection. Like so. Fuck, I just pulled it out. Okay. Well. Back in we go. I don't know what else I can do. Wish I could get this into position and then worry about that. But it just does not want to let me. And this is like a profound weak point now. So. Okay. Maybe just need to let it cure for quite some time. Pull some of this shit off. Try to get this back in fairly quickly. I might not be able to complete this until this fully dries and cures. If I can get it to stay where it needs to stay, that is. Okay, right there is 100% functional. Wish I had some kicker. So for now, I really think the smartest thing for me to do is just let this sit here and dry. Let it sit here, dry, cure, and all that. I think that's the smartest thing for me to do, honestly. I don't remember what full dry is on this. I think it's a matter of 5 to 10 minutes, something like that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw a BRB screen on here, take a deep breath, get some water, let this just sit here and do its thing, and I'll be back. So I'm bound and determined to get this done today. I'm tired of this terrifying me. So I'll be back. Oops. Make sure this is okay. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. If I can figure out how to make that work again. Come on. All right, there we go. See you soon. All right, guys. So, I think we're there. I did do a couple things off stream just while it was drying. I cleaned up the black wire, got it basically in the position that I want it for basically its final seating. And you guys can't see very well. All right, so I've got it basically black wire basically where I want it over here on the right. I'm rerouting this red wire. Everything still works. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see there it still works. We're all good that way. I just need to use a hot glue gun and secure. I cut a couple of little divots on the edges here. We're gonna try to secure them in using a little bit of hot glue. And then I can splice this guy to this guy, which is a little bit awkward because it's making a weird loop. But I should be able to get away with it and still be able to attach this to the other side and have plenty of room to maneuver. I'm just kind of getting this in place for that purpose just to see. I'm trying to coil the wire underneath the little LED. It's kind of hard to see again, it's sort of sideways. But I'm trying to coil everything underneath that LED. You can't see it if I do that. Colette doesn't like breakfast. Not even breakfast Sammy's. How dare. Okay. All right. Before I vape, let's get this taken care of. This is kind of frightening. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is just get myself a nice glob of hot glue over here. Grab it with a little bit with a toothpick and try to rapidly get it over into position on this wire. Oh, fuck. Oh, that one's not going to work because the wire is not in position. Okay, I guess I'll have to mess with this a little bit more before I do that. Please stop moving. And I'm kind of doing an open heart surgery thing here where I'm keeping it on, which might not be the best idea. But it's the way that I know that it's still functioning, it's still working, doing what I need to do. Doing what I need it to do. Good Englishing. Good enunciation. Okay. Try again. There's going to be stringies, that's alright. Okay. Bloop! I prefer it to not be on the battery terminal. Yep, that works fine, as long as it's flipped up. Colette likes the orange juice with all the pulp. I know, weird, right? This one's gonna be slightly trickier. I'd say. Let me see what I can get away with here. We gotta keep a light connection. Light connection, please. Light connection, please. See sort of what I'm doing here. And now you don't work. Perfect. Nailed it. Okay. Why, pray tell, is that? Because it hates me. That's why. Okay. Okay, it likes to be in that position. So maybe we just let it be in that position. Okay, it likes that position. I say we let it be in that position. Just to make sure I'm gonna secure this just slightly better than I had it before. Just give these guys a couple of hoops. Please behave. Batting practice. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on, baby. There we go. Alright. You like to be in I don't advise doing this, guys. But extreme measures are necessary right now. Oh, God. Cool down so I can pull you apart. It's starting to cool down now. Get off. I got something for you. There. Okay. Oh, that's because I disconnected this. I was like, why is it not working anymore? Okay. Kind of hard to tell. Well, there, it's flickering. You can see it on. Okay. I think I've got a position where it's going to be happy, and I can still get to the battery. Now the next step is I think I'm going to cross over right here for the back, and the switch is going to go on the other thing when we're done with this. But now I need to solder these two guys together, and I don't have much room to do that. So I'm actually going to see about this clear, which is all the way the frick on the bottom. Because oftentimes the stuff that makes something clear, the chemicals they use for it, makes it a bit more pliable too. And it actually feels that way here. So I might get better luck with a clear insulation. See? Actually feels thinner. Side salad, that sounds delicious. I wonder what we're having for dinner tonight, after I'm done being terrified by all this shit. Alright, so the next step is I need to definitely take this down a little bit. This is way too much. I'm not even gonna attempt that. We're gonna do the version that works. I'm not excited about attempting this with a live battery running, but I have to make sure it's functional. I'm gonna turn it off though, so it's not transmitting while it's hot. What was it? What'd you have to do with the small wires, Colette? Let's get you back in the cradle. Okay. really don't want to do this left-handed. That should be better. Don't fail me now. Depth perception. Not as much as it's gonna give me. Let me turn glue gun off. These tweezers, you know, batting practice is not the greatest thing to have in your ear when doing this shit, I have come to realize. I think that should be decent enough for me to pull off. What? Colette is cleaning her computer. Please. She should. Known fact. And there's no getting more insulation on this side. So I'm just going to try to get the loop as far up as I can. Dude, I'm putting this on YouTube as well. What the hell's wrong with me? Alright. Okay. So make sure everyone that way is happy. Now we have to make sure everyone this way is happy. It's the final countdown. Right. I need my eyeballs on. Where is the little guy? Here he is. If I can get one turn on this, I'd be happy. And before I do that, since I'm an idiot, that's fine. We should be able to snake this guy back in. But guess what I almost forgot again? Super teeny tiny, like this super teeny tiny. And I might actually try to squeeze this over the other one as well. Yeah, God, that's really loose. I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll see if it works. Working with unoptimal gear or materials, that always ends well. Or never. Probably never. Oh, you fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you have to cuss at the thing to make it work properly. Really, it's true. Will he or won't he? The anticipation is killing me. There he is. Oh, like that. I shorted it with my tweezers here. Positive to positive. Bypass the switch. Come on, one more. One more. I don't know how much of this you can see, but it's still terrifying. Don't worry. One cross. That's all I'm asking for is one crossover. I don't think we're going to get that crossover. I think that's it. Okay, let me try to protect this reasonably, which is going to be kind of difficult. Okay. Okay, Eureka. Everything's working still. How am I going to get under here? We make smaller tape. That's what we do. What? What's going on? I'm sorry, I am worse than usual, if you can believe that. Staying up with chat. That's about the best protection I'm going to get on this. Okay. Terrifying time. Fluxy, fluxy, fluxy. You need to be way out of my way. So do you. Sanctus benedicamus, Patriae et Filio. Okay, good. I can get that excess off. Not that I really want to, or necessarily need to. Come on, flow onto it. There you go. Okay. Smooth out this rough edge here. We'll call it a comeback. Come on. Here we go. Okay. Merry freaking Christmas. Let's never do that again. I'm gonna have an adrenal crash after today, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna have a nice little adrenaline crash. Okay. That is enough of that. So saith me in this model. This one sucked. I had to get close enough. Check it out. I had to get close enough that it actually burned the tape a little bit, which made me nervous, but I had to. Which is why I had the tape there. It was right here at the this little Y point right here. Okay. Still works after heat shrinking. Now, I have to secure this little wire using more hot glue to the little channel that I made for it. So I can be damn well sure it ain't going nowhere and I can still access the battery. So same thing I did on the right side here. Oh, the tape did its job. I think we're almost there, guys. I'm gonna shit a kitten. And I'm almost out of hot glue. Nice. Uh-oh. Yeah, that one dried too quick. I'm gonna have to do this thing again. Hopefully that'll stay there and be a good boy while I do this. Stringies I can deal with in a sec. Kind of definitely like some more in there. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do the thing I don't recommend doing, just to make sure it's actually in there well. That worked out pretty well. All right, we're gonna let that settle there for a second. And I think at this point the terrifying stuff is largely done. This thing I still have to position. I'm gonna wait for that glue to dry first. We can turn off that soldering iron. Soldering iron worked like a frickin' champ, dude. I'm very pleased by this soldering iron. Everybody's still lit. Yay. Fiddling to do in here. Just a little fiddle. I should probably keep this on while I'm doing this just to make sure as I am fiddling it doesn't do anything stupid. Sort of a nice thing about the insulation being huge like this is at least I can have something to grab onto and manipulate the wires around with. That's fine. Okay, this is now taken care of, so now I just need to figure out how, without hurting everything, I'm going to, I think I just found my answer. I'm going to position this stuff. Okay, helmet's still happy. Okay, now we need back piece. Back piece Andy. And that's right, I'm going to have to do some shit I don't like doing, but I kind of have to. Where's my, I'm going to go get my super awesome baby pliers. Baby pliers. My little needle nose fellers. Boop. Ah. What now? Audio level solder. So is it like straight up silver solder? Like true amazing silver solder? I don't want to break this. I just need to bend it a little bit. Like that. That's fine. Same thing on the other side. A little bit more. Just so I can squeeze it in to this housing. Okay. All the lights are still on. is very good news. So first thing is I'm just going to pull this out, I think, a little bit, so I can jam it in a second. I have one goal. That is to close this dude. Let's see if I can. Right, who's getting bunged up where? I see. I see. Okay. So. Okay, that should take care of that problem. And if this functions, once it goes in, I really just want to keep it that way. I want it to come together and just be that way from now on. Be nice and happy and functional. And it is not coming together. Why? Because who's in the way? Who's in the way? Okay, I think this glue is being in the way. Now I will very carefully remove some excess glue. I'm just going to keep kind of back and forth on this until I figure out how it wants to come together. And then look down, dude. Okay. We're getting there. I still think it's the glue, so I might need to go back to the drawing board on this. Some of this glue stuff. They're a little bit of a problem. Incredibly so. Because if that's the case, I might be able to just CA this into that groove, which is a thing I think we're going to try right now. The wires are basically trained to live where they are right now. Apologies for not being on camera, but I need to be up close and personal for this. Apologies again for pretty much ignoring chat. But the terror is real, guys. Almost got it. There we go. Alright. There it is. No, it's still grabbing somebody. Get off. Get off. All right, who's not wanting to cooperate here? Oh, that's a thing. There we go. It's on the right side. On the left side, I should say. Right. Sort of desperate-ish measures. Again, it's pretty boring shit, guys, but it's how you got to get the job done. I'm now going to basically CA glue these things in instead of hot gluing them. Hot gluing them is preferable because then I can remove things. Like if I can get away with it, I'd love to just hot glue the switch. But It's not giving me much of an option right now, so. I get to be a clamp for a while. And you are not behaving. No. Everyone's still happy. Everyone's still happy. I'm moving too much. I can't move. Oh, thanks, Entropy. Have a good one. Well, thank you very much for the help. The guts in here are not pretty. I didn't expect them to be. But would have been a lot scarier if you weren't here to help, Entropy. It's enough for me to walk away from. Now I just got to do the other side. Easy. Yeah, I'm going to get some fresh. Gelcier's pretty amazing stuff. Where do I want you to be? I want you to be... Oh, God. Here. Oh, God, this is so awkward. Push it in. There we go. Okay, still happy. I need to keep it on. I need the brain surgery version for this one. Because it's a little fucker. You want to watch me watch glue dry? There you go. No moving. Ah, shit. Tweezer slipped. Tweezers, please. Please, tweezers. I can't even see if the... I think the helmet is on. It is, okay. Fuck, stop slipping! You know what? I think this will work better. So I'm not moving it around. The black wire behaved just fine. I don't know what the red wire's problem is. Okay. Now that those are sort of behaving, I'm just going to go in here, get into the center of things, and add a little bit more to the edges, like so. A little bit of reinforcement. You know, if you add a little bit of baking soda to cyanoacrylate, it makes a really, really good kind of filler. You can really put some substantial mass onto it. So you can see we're still working. Rip my little caution sign. And what's weird is the decal is still on there. So what I figure I did is it must have got some heat. I've had some really, really bad 106 runs, right? I've had some really good 106 runs and so on, but I can tell you I haven't gone through the emotional swing that I have on this. It's just been yikes followed by followed by yikes followed by oh my god, thank god. You have to, oh my god and thank god, you have to do both of them. I can put some of this shit away. We are done soldering, I hope. So I can put my fancy flux away. And I'm gonna clean off my tip here a little bit better. Gotta have a clean tip. While this is drying, it's starting to get glossy. And I think I should probably take, I mean, there's not much. Yeah, I can take a little bit. So I think this is also part of the impedance problem. Just that little edge right there. Yep. There's nothing in the way now. Helmet's still straight. I can still turn it. Both lights are on. All a frickin' Jula. Alright, now I want to very gently, casually bend this wire under here. There we go. Okay. And finagle our switch through. Like so. Ladies and gentlemen, sealed together. Okay. Don't want to be touching the helmet as much as I possibly can. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little bit more time for the super glue to do its thing. We can turn it off. We know everyone's working. Cool. Still good motion. I'm not prepared to do a full range of motion on it yet just because it's apart. All right, so that just needs to sit there for a sec. In the meantime, let me truly get the junk off my soldering iron here. Do a little tin cleaning of it. No oxidation allowed. Clean soldering iron's a happy soldering iron. Oh, God, guys. What a project, and I'm not even done with it. I'll keep you there just in case I need you. You can go over there, you can go over there. You are done. You are done. Oh, my visor's light's still on. Off you go. Okay. I don't think I'll be needing all this heat shrink. So let me put this back. By the time I'm cleaning up, hopefully it should be good enough for me to assemble and then attach that switch. And then that basically is that. Until something decides it doesn't want to work anymore. See, here's the thing. It's in such a place that if the LEDs do fail, it still looks cool. And it will still sit there and look pretty. Which satisfies my need. Why are you being a dumbass. Oh. That would explain why you're being a dumbass. There you go. Fixed it. Okay. Didn't need the alcohol. And all these little wires I no longer need. Man, wiring my computer harness and cabling, it was a piece of fucking cake compared to this. I need to sweep up these little iron things too, or copper things. Oh, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me. I know people left for dinner and to do shopping and stuff. Thank you guys too. You were here for some of the scariest shit. If you want to see when things went wrong, everything was fine until things went wrong, and that was early, and that was about an hour and a half into the stream. Okay, everyone still happy? Yes. Finger test on the CA. Nope, still needs to dry a little bit more. I hope it's all okay. We're not done yet. we got one little. I think this perspective is better. We got one little piece left. I'll go move it back. Try to square you up. Give you something. There, that's sort of in the middle. There's positive thinking, but then there's delusion. Still plenty hot. See, if the reason why I say that is I don't want to be complacent. I want to make sure I'm very careful about even this final step. So right now, it's positioned pretty damn well, and the wires are sort of helping each other out. What this really calls for, and what they used, is a circuit board. Like if you had a circuit board, then this would be a non-issue. Except for it didn't come with a head LED, so that's 100% custom. It's very interesting. It's definitely in there. Everyone still work? Yep. Okay. So now, I want this little wire to help keep this thing in place. I'm just gonna do a little of that there. All right. Und the last step, mein Liebchen, is to have a place for the switch. Not sponsored by Nintendo. Get everybody finagled together. All right, you are finagled. You are officially finagled. Squeeze you together, and you function when on. Hallelujah. Okay, I need the little side plate pieces because these hold the parts together. And I cannot glue these because I need to be able to. When the battery dies, I need to be able to take this thing apart to throw in another battery. So, is that the? I got the wrong one. No, that was the right one. There we go. Pressure fit. Wrong direction. Come on, baby. Don't do me like that. Gold paint's still holding up. Wasn't the last time I did that. Slide it forward, pop it in. Okay. Everything is secured. Everything is lighting. Alright, so before I don't need to secure everything else right now. I just need to get this last part into position. so. You know what? There's a part of me that feels like I shouldn't even glue this in. I can get this to flip around. No, I probably should, based on what I just experienced, because it wants to push forward. These are just small enough to not want to sit. Should have my back piece, I don't. God, that's hard to access. But I don't know that I have a choice. So here, go ahead and take a look at how little access there really is right here. And there's not really an ideal place to put it other than right there. Shit. Now the question is, if I am gonna affix this, is it gonna be through hot glue or cyanoacrylate? Kind of see why it's doing that now that I look at it, though. Maybe I can fix that. Come here. Scooch out. See why you're being a bastard. More light. Velcro. I wish. Not an option. Okay, that works. Surprisingly, a lot of force necessary to make this switch work. Okay, I got this smaller, and I think I'm going to be the one changing the battery, so I know its rules. If I were to use hot glue, it would just make a mess, and it would just come right off, probably. So, cyanoacrylate it is. Wish Gipsy luck. Before her daddy destroys her. I think that actually was enough. I don't think I need more. Right. You guys can watch me do this shit again. Fucker. You had zero problems with that position before. Now get in there. Do not like using my fingers for this because my fingers tend to get stuck to it. Okay, good. It pulled in. Find a resting position and stay there. That's all I gotta do. Yes, good. I also have to get the back piece onto here too, so that is consideration. It's true, I don't like using my fingers for this. It's a good quote, because it's true. Now, what I didn't consider, I'm going to need to do something kind of tricky here. Is I think I'm free from the seam, but if any super glue went on the other side of the seam, it might try to lock these two things together, which would be a problem. So, we're going to give it a little gap. I said, we're going to give it a little gap. Like that. Very carefully. All right. Gap has been created. You can see, oh, knocked you over. Hi, guys. This big old gap right there. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. Right? If there was any CA glue that got on the other side, it's now separated. So it won't be able to glue to the other plate. And I got a little extra here I would like to not have on here, if I can at all get away with it, because there is a piece that slides into this. So smooth it out a little bit. Come on, motherfucker. Just trying to clean up a toothpick so I don't have to keep using fresh toothpicks. God, this hot glue is great. We'll give it that when it comes to sticking to wood. Okay, that should be thin enough that it won't impede my ability. Good? Good. Everything's separatable? Oh, Gipsy, you're killing me here. Oh. All right. Guys, I think we got ourselves a model. I need to go get the back piece just to make sure. All right. While this is continuing to dry, let's think about how this went. I would say technically a success, right? Technically a success. So thing lights up, all the wiring is installed in there, things are soldered correctly, and other things that went right. I think the thing I was most concerned about, which was the soldering, ended up being like the most successful part. Like all those joints were really good. The thing that I definitely learned on this is I did not have the correct tools for the job. So I assumed that my wire strippers would work on 28 gauge, and they didn't. None of them did, including my really good computer, or the really good nippers I got for working on my computer. These right here. These are amazing at the job. So future lesson, I need to get the smaller version of the strippers. That would have solved catastrophe number 1, right? Catastrophe number 2, I don't think there's anything I could do about that. Honestly, it was just it broke in the insulation, the pre-made insulation, probably due to the bending and stuff I had to do to make this route correctly. Not much I could do there. Other problem would be the heat shrink that I got. I guess for the future, I'm just going to have to get a little collection of 28, 30, 32, 34, 36 microscopic gauge insulation, from wherever they sell that in Malaysia, I guess. But that was also a problem. I had a lot of bulk on here, It's nice though. It secured the living shit out of those solder joints, but I'm not concerned about the solder joints. I'm more concerned about the portion of the head where it came apart. We used cyanoacrylate in there, and hopefully by the time that hardens, it's just going to be so rigidly bonded, it's not going to be a problem. What else? What else would I? I definitely recommend. Or not recommend. I'm definitely happy that I practiced with this soldering iron before I didn't. I recommend anybody do that. So, no, I mean, if I did this once, Colette, I'm absolutely going to put LED kits in other shit. Of course I would. You kidding me? How much cooler is a Gundam, or any model? This isn't a Gundam, but any model where we got lights involved. Hells yeah. And I'm still not done with this. I want to get Mrs. Dr. Crotron's opinion first because it is for her. But I still would think that light weathering is a good idea. And the reason why I say that is if you watch the movie, even when Gypsy Danger is refurbished, when what's his face comes back, right? It still's got little scratches and shit all over it. So I still think that would be kind of cool, and it'd also give me an excuse in a way to hide my crimes when it comes to the decals. The caution sign one, straight up, that was a heat problem, and that one I'm not sure what else I could do. I think if I had the wherewithal, if I was really, really good with the engineering and I understood all of it, I could have made the harness outside this and then installed it, right? I don't have that. I have to follow the contours of what I've got in front of me and hope to God I can do it without destroying it. Only got a little bit of glue on my fingers, so that's nice. And right now we're just waiting for this glue to dry a little bit more. Now I want to make sure that I'm not going to glue the back piece to this. All right, seems like it's good. Did not stick to my finger. So now we must reconstitute the body by inserting the latissimus dorsi muscle into the rib cage, like so. This one's always kind of a bastard to put on. All that abuse and the gold ring this time didn't hurt. Oh, for those that weren't here earlier, one of the things I did add in addition to yellowing out the visor was I did an external ring of clear red and an internal ring of clear red, and then did the entire thing with a clear yellow to get this effect. And I'm really, really happy with it. So when it's turned off, it still looks cool. And in case you're wondering, I might as well. I do know some folk that do Gunpla check this out on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Let me show you what I used. It's really good, and it's not just like your usual Mr. Hobby Clear. It's a specific clear called Aqueous Hobby Color. And here it is. So this is the yellow. And this stuff, like, this is dense yellow. It looks like duck egg yolk. It's really, really orangey. It's fantastic. So you can see the product of what that was. The visor and the overlay on the turbine was done in that. And then here's the red, which is really, it's really bright red. I don't know if you can, yeah, that's a good shot of it. It's like a really bright red, but it comes out much more subtle. So, in case you're curious about how I did that effect, that's how I did it. And then I clear coated both of them in Pledge Multi. Okay. Now, the final countdown. Next up, we need the breastplate. And maybe I can give you trying to give you a better shot, reasonably better shot of me just assembling. Okay. Short guy on the inside, I think. Yes. The breastplate also holds all this shit together. I don't know what you, I would call it a breastplate. I don't know. It's the top chest area. So getting this on is also a good idea right now. So protection can be a little fiddly to do though. Whatever I do not want to upset that switch. So I'm just gently trying to pop dude in here. Okay. Are you in? I don't know that you're in. I don't feel like you're in. You do, but you don't. I think you're in. Yeah. Okay. Then the last pieces, and this is what I wanted to test for the finale of this here stream. This thing holds all of it together, and I definitely need it to be able to insert into this space, which it does just fine. There it is. Oh, I tightened that too much. There we go. All right. Okay, guys. One last thing. This back thing is really finicky though. I'm way too high. There we go. All right. Gypsy Danger is lit. Gaps in there, not even worried about it. I'm gonna go collapse now, because that was terrifying as fuck. Next time, if we're gonna end up doing anything with Gypsy Danger further, it's gonna be weathering. And oh, this wasn't pushed all the way together. That might explain some things. But we'll see. It's up to Mrs. Dr. Crotron. If she likes this model the way that it is, this is what she gets. I might pose it up a little bit, and yeah. I should have had a heart rate monitor. Yeah, I should have. I need therapy now. Ugh. Oh man. Here, look at her excellence. I'd show you in the dark, but I've got a vehicle blocking my ability to make that. Ugh. Guys. 100% worth it. Complete terror and horror. And as Colette said, hey, it was only, a few hundred hours worth of work. Fuck, man. If that cyanoacrylate thing where I basically plugged an artery into this guy's head didn't work, I don't know what the hell I would have done. But I think what I'll do is I'll probably... Jiffy's going to sit there and do absolutely nothing for a complete day. Everything gets to dry, everything gets to cure, everything gets to ease into place, including the wiring. They get to all learn their memory, and then maybe at some point I'll pose her up in my light box and take some pictures and shit, maybe video footage, and make that just like a tag on for YouTube or whatever and stuff. Oh. All right, but that is definitely it for me, guys. Thank you again so much for joining me. As big as a deal as I was making out of this as I was doing it, that's just because I gave a damn and I wanted it to be good. It was worth every second of it. This is absolutely the most spectacular model I've ever put together, and I mean spectacular in terms of way more the process of it. It was a spectacle. I learned a tremendous amount. Today I learned a tremendous amount. I'm very pleased with it, and I hope Ms. Dr. Croton will be too. She's already seen it a little bit, so she'll probably dig it even more, which is the point. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to put it on over to my BRB screen as is customary for one of my building streams. And I'm sure I'll see you around Twitch, and if this is on YouTube, then thanks for checking out my video, and I'm sorry if you had a heart attack along with me. Alright guys, here's your BRB screen.